Well, Jim, this is a very unfamiliar position. We've lost a game here this afternoon. Is it a fair result in the end, do you think?
I don't think so. When you think of the chances we had in the first half, the keeper's made a great save, and Sam Minahan should finish the rebound. Second half, the keeper's made a fantastic double save, and I thought we had lots of. I don't think there was much in the first half, and I think we had lots of pressure, lots of opportunities to create more chances in the second half. But if you don't take your chance, you're always vulnerable to that goal.
You made a lot of change on Tuesday. They came off. You made a lot of changes today. Did they work today or not?
It's very hard to judge the lads, because I thought it was a fantastic result on Tuesday night. I felt there was players that didn't have great first half. So Jake picked up an injury, so he wasn't really at his best. Like I said, it's we were conscious that Adam Thomas has got tight hamstrings, and we knew that they'd hit Lowy down on the right hand side. So Lewis Baines, I think, dealt with that threat admirably for most of the game. So there wasn't too much for us to worry about. It would have been disappointing for Elliot if he was left out when he scored a fantastic opportunity, and he still was the best goal scorer and threat from the number 10 role today, because I didn't think Matty Warburton got himself in any positions where he looked like he could score. So it was disappointing. I could have picked any 11, but it was a difficult game, difficult conditions, and I felt we just needed to show that touch of quality at the right time, or have that set play that had a bit of quality to get the opening goal. And if we had done that, then it would have been a different game.
You've been on an incredible run, and nobody can forget that. I mean, 16 games in the league, unbeaten, which is equalling a record that stood for 82 years. So we always remember that. And a County fan has just said to me there, it's a blip. Is that how you look at it?
Well, we have to work really hard to make sure it's a blip. We've got the Chester Senior Cup on Tuesday. We've got two big semi-final games. So we're not back in league action for quite a while. So we could find ourselves in an unfamiliar position in terms of where we are in the league, because we could be second, third, or depends how many games the opposition are playing, or the ones below us. So we have to dust ourselves down. Although we've got the game, we've got an empty week where we can realign ourselves, and with us having the two games on a Saturday with no interruptions, we should be able to prepare well for them, and I don't think we have to consider too much about squad rotation. We'll just try and put out our strongest side, but it's difficult at the moment, because in the last 3 games we've seen some of the qualities of our players, but we've also seen what they occasionally lack. So what we need to do is just make sure that we start doing more of the quality things than the bits that we're missing. So if we do that, we'll get back on the same sort of run we've had.
Are there things about Brackley that you admire? I know you and I have talked before about keeping the same set of players together for 3 or 4 years, and I mean, I've been coming here for 3 or 4 years, and it seems to be the same team on the team sheet every time, and there's something in that, isn't there, that they're growing that success by sticking together? Well,
possibly, if that's what you want. That's their pool of players. They've stuck with a manager. They've got similar results every year. If that's what their chairman wants, that's what the chairman wants. But I don't think the club's growing. I don't think the fan base is growing, and he's investing a lot of money. The chairman. I mean, I believe the budget is in, probably as high as us, and maybe even higher from what I've been led to believe. And really, they should be getting out of this division with that budget. But I don't know whether the infrastructure's there, but like I said, it's not. They're on a reasonable run. They'd be there. I said on the last game that if we end up above them, we'd be in the top 3. For us to be in this position with 8 games to go and still effectively 6 points clear of them is a great position to be in. There's a lot of. Well, I am very conscious, despite the run we've been on. There's a lot of us. There's a lot of football to be played, and we are in a very tangible situation to have a fantastic season, and we have to work really hard now to get back into those winning ways and playing well, because what we don't want now is anything to. Because if we don't achieve some success this season, then we'll all be disappointed.
When you looked at this sort of clutch, this trilogy of games, if you like, Spennymoor, Boston away, Brackley away, it always looked a really tough sequence of games, and to come out of it with 6 points or 7 points would have been a great success, and you've got 6, so you probably in the overall picture you look back and think, yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, I think it was really important for us to beat Spennymoor because they're obviously title contenders, and that was a really important win. And backing up with Boston gave everybody a belief that we are really in contention. But I know Chorley have got wins in them. I know Spennymoor have got qualities. Maybe the others are a little bit behind, and probably hopeful teams slip up. But like I said, there's plenty of football to be played, and we're in a fantastic position. You could argue it's very much in our own hands, because if we win our games and do the business in every game, then we're going to have a fantastic season. But one game at a time. We'll just prepare this week for Nantwich, and there's an opportunity for players really to get some quality football in, especially the younger lads, because obviously we're mindful of the development side of the club. But at the moment, like I said, unfortunately we won't be in the league now for something like 16 days or so. So we just got to concentrate now on making sure that we have a success in the 2 cups.
What about that? You mentioned there the game against Nantwich. I look at their squad and they've got players like Ricardo Fuller. It's going to be great for your young lads, isn't it, playing in that game?
Yeah, but they've had a great experience this year. Whether it be Warrington, Northwich, Runcorn, all different experiences. So it's been brilliant for them, and I think it's on a different level compared to what we were playing last year with the Cheadle Towns, and so a great experience for them. Also a very, very competitive game for us. A good pitch and a good place to go to really chop up minutes for those players that perhaps didn't play today or need to tidy up aspects of the game. And so in that sense it's a good game for us to get everybody topped up, everybody in the club, all those that were subs, all those that were in the squad, and all the younger lads, and great experience for the players that have earned that right to be in the semi-final. So they'll be determined to make sure that they give a good account of themselves, not just for the club and their futures, but also for the opportunity to win the cup.
Tell us about your Tuesday to come. I mean, normally, of course, there'll be a training session. You still have that session. You bring it forward. How do you manage Tuesday with the lads?
Yeah, I think people forget I work at the academy. So what will happen on Tuesday for me is I'll be coaching our second years, preparation for the game on Wednesday. I'll be coaching our first years in the afternoon, and then I'll be going and coaching the first team from 5:30 to 7, and then leaving there to attend the game. So a good week's work in a day. But that's the way it's been for a lot of games, a lot of weeks. It's a labour of love. Like I said, I've got good staff around me, and like I said, I just want to make sure we give all the players at the club, whether that be the under 17s, under 18s, or the players that play in the Chester Senior Cup, the lads who are at Stockport Town on dual registration. Just want to give everybody an opportunity to get the best experience they can from the season.
And just finally, you mentioned there about losing potentially a little bit of ground in the title race here because you're not going to be playing games over the next week or so. In some ways, it's not a bad thing because at the end of that sequence, you'll look and you think, right, we know exactly what we need to do now.
Well, possibly, but like I said, even when we played the Ashton games and the Chester games, and we get ourselves in a position where it's still going to be unknown. You're going to get to that stage when everybody's looking at all the fixtures and how results are going somewhere else. And like I said, there's a lot of football to be played. And like I said, at the moment, the focus is going to be turned to these cup competitions, and then we'll see where we stand in the league. And hopefully, we're in a position where we know it's in our own hands. So,
wish you well. Thank you, Jim.
Thanks so much.
Cheers. Top man.